Hello there. This video is about what happens after you win the MEXT Scholarship and the scary time in between passing the first screening but waiting for the results from the second screening. I come at you today from a glorious high-angle shot. So why are you here? Maybe you're thinking about applying. Maybe you're currently putting together your application paperwork. Maybe you're in the middle of writing your research proposal. But if you're a stress machine like I am, you've probably just passed the first screening and you're wondering what on earth could be about to happen to your life. But never fear, I'm here to help. Maybe. Hi there, my name is Jaden and I'm a 2025 MEXT Scholarship recipient from New Zealand. That's right, home to the Kiwis, the All Blacks and the Bob Semple tank. Yes, it is a tractor. I won MEXT through the embassy track with postgraduate research at a master's level. So, let's imagine you've just passed the first screening stage. That's the application stage, the exam stage, and the interview stage. Congratulations, that is a huge achievement. But what happens next? Well, not much really. The second screening takes ages. But if you've passed first screening, you've got a really good chance to get the scholarship from this point. So, don't quit your job just yet, but do start preparing yourself for quite a likely reality emotionally. For master's students, add on the extra step of getting letters of recommendation from your university before you consider yourself over the hardest part. I like to think of the screening process as like applying for a job. Imagine the HR hiring person says, "We really like you, and you're the top candidate." That is first screening. Now HR needs to go to the CEO and say, "We found someone, can you sign it off and formally approve the budget for them, please?" That is the second screening. Depending on if you're applying for undergraduate or postgraduate, this is where other things happen, like MEXT places you into a university and so on. Anyways, you're going to sit around for a long time waiting to hear if you actually won the scholarship by passing the second screening. And then bam! You'll get a letter from your embassy saying, "Congratulations, you're going to Japan soon." Very soon. Like in my case, rather anticlimactically, you might receive what we call an unofficial confirmation. This is when your new university says, "Hey, hello, congratulations on winning the MEXT Scholarship. See you soon." But a few days before the embassy actually has the chance to tell you. Regardless, odds are that you're going to get notified in early February that you're flying to Japan in early April. And oh my god, 2 months goes by outrageously fast. Travel dates. Also, you probably won't get your travel dates until a little bit later. I got my confirmation of winning the scholarship in the second week of February, but I didn't receive exact travel dates from MEXT contracted travel agency until the third week of February. So, in total, I had 5 weeks notification. So, if you're going to quit your job and sell your possessions, be warned, it's a tight time frame. Something else that freaked me out, what airline will you be flying with? What will your luggage allowance be? Will it be weight? Suitcases? Can you add more? But you'll have to be patient here. I didn't get my e-ticket until the first week of March. My flight was booked with Singapore Airlines, who, flying from New Zealand, only let you bring 30 kgs of luggage. You couldn't pay for extra luggage allowance either, so you had unlimited suitcase but limited total weight, and it's near impossible to buy more weight. Let me tell you, that completely screwed our packing plans. That's not to say you'd have the same problem with Singapore Airlines, nor would you even necessarily be Singapore Airlines. The choice of airline and flight completely comes down to the travel agency contracted by MEXT, and ultimately you'll just have to wait and find out here. At the end of the day, you are getting a free flight to Japan, so don't complain about it. And there's no point harassing your embassy for questions. This is a MEXT arrangement, not an arrangement by the embassy. Regarding accommodation, shortly after passing the second screening, or maybe even a couple days before, you'll probably start getting plenty of communication from your receiving university. If your receiving university has dorms or other accommodation arrangements run by the university, they'll let you know about it. So if you're currently in between first and second screening, please don't stress too much about this. This information will come to you from the university as you need it. I personally didn't do this, but I'd recommend going for dorms for your first semester, and then once you're already living in Japan, you can look for longer term accommodation once your first semester of dorm runs out, whether that's an apartment or other accommodation sorted by the school. It's much easier to do once you're here. I think for undergraduate students, it can be a little different, but the same setup. Go for dorms first, keep it easy for yourself, and figure out more once you're there. Visa! Your visa. It's so easy with the embassy/MEXT organising your visa. I can't speak for other countries, but at least in New Zealand, I got an email, asked to come into the embassy, do 2 pages of paperwork, and 5 days later, I had a visa all ready for me to go. Being a MEXT scholar really gets you on the Shinkansen of Japanese paperwork. This is the easy part. It was so exciting. Say goodbye and pretend to miss your family. Unless you have pets, you'll actually miss your pets. Moving to Japan will be amazing and you will settle surprisingly quickly. If you're stressed about this part of the process, you got it all wrong. Stress about first screening and second screening. This is so easy. You'll move to Japan, you'll have some language whoopsies at the konbini. Kono pasu mo 20 yen charge o kudasai. Discover the joys of City Hall paperwork bureaucracy and make friends. Don't even worry about this bit. Please do not worry about this bit. Because you're a MEXT scholar, all of this is so much easier than you're expecting. Getting a bank account, a phone number, it's still tricky, but it's much more doable as a MEXT scholar with the framework of MEXT and your university backing you up to support you. Don't forget, you're not going to Japan as an English teacher at some black company. You are a government-sponsored research scholar. That's literally what it will say on your foreign residence card. I'll be making some more videos soon about what moving to Japan was like as a MEXT scholar, and any tips I've got about sneaky Japanese paperwork to remember. Maybe I'll make a checklist with guidelines if you find that helpful. Yeah, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. I am gobsmacked we've had views and comments on my first video I did. I expected that bad boy to disappear into the void. And I'm so thankful some of you took me up on my offer and have asked me questions about the scholarship in the comments. Please keep doing that. I'm more than happy to help however I can. So please ask any questions you might have and any future MEXT topics or general Japan topics you'd like me to cover. Thanks so much for watching.